John, give me right now, please, for everybody here, the best Wolf of Wall Street behind-the-scenes story that you can tell anybody on live television and radio. Please, what do you got for me?
Oh, man, the best.
What do you got
best.
for me? Scorsese, Leo, what do you got for me? Anything? McConaughey, if you were around any of those scenes when he was on set?
I mean, I think my favorite story, my favorite Wolf of Wall Street story is that whole thing with "Sell Me This Pen." You know, that whole thing with the supply and demand, and you know where that came from. Leo was walking to set that day with his security guard, who was a retired New York City detective. And he had turned to Leo and he said, you know, back in the day, I had an interview to work for the real Wolf of Wall Street, for Jordan Belfort. I walked into the interview, and all he did is he handed me a pen, said, "Sell me this pen." So in that scene, Leo just walked in and completely improvised. He just handed me the pen, said, "Sell me this pen." And the rest of it was improvised. And the thing is you know, that it was that sort of that entire movie was just kind of electric. You know, working with Scorsese, I mean, I imagine it's you know, like with Belichick, and is it like with any of these guys? It's you know, he's the best of the best. It's the mountaintop, and somehow he's able to literally get the best out of every single person on set. And I think it's a lesson for all of us, no matter what business you're in. You know, he takes the leash off and lets everybody fly. And you know, literally, I could tell you a story pretty much about every day. Some of those things I probably shouldn't tell you, but there's things I could tell you pretty much about every day on that set. That would it was electric, and it was alive, and it's the way film should be made.
All right, is there something that couldn't make it? Even Scorsese said that's too much. Anything like that? No.
You know, no, we were really, you know, I'll tell you what, you know, Leo talked to us before that movie was made, and you know, I remember he's you know, he's such an unbelievable leader, and you know, he said to us before we started shooting, he said, "Look, this kind of movie will not be able to be made in 5 years. This is the last time a movie like this is going to be able to be made." And like he did, he had that foresight. He's like, "You just won't." So I am asking you all to push the envelope. Like, just go for it. Whatever depraved, sick thought you have in your mind, go for it. And he's like, that's what this is about. And, you know, he's absolutely right. You couldn't make that movie now. And it's a masterpiece. And so, I mean, look, crazy things happened every day. Some things made it in, some things made it didn't. Mm-hmm. But I can tell you every single day there was you know, look, a lot of naked bodies, okay. a lot of you know, pretend debauchery, mm-hmm. and you know, a lot of just pushing the envelope. But you know, like that's what the movie called for.
That might be the name of our fantasy team. Please write down Chris Brockman. We do this all the time. Pretend debauchery would be a great fantasy team name.
That's pretty good.
Pretend debauchery, and we know what the avatar is. It's Jon Bernthal in Wolf of Wall Street. That'll be fantastic. There's so many other of your credits I could go for right now to ask you about, from Sicario to, you know, Baby Driver, Ford versus Ferrari. But John, it's very rare that I have somebody on the show that has a similar credit to me. John, you and I share the fact that we've both been in 2 episodes of CSI Miami, John.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
have I been in 2? I didn't know that I was in 2. Well, I'll take it, man.
Yes, you were in. We looked this up. You were in the episodes. You played Harry Klugman. No relation to Jack, I imagine, right?
Okay, I don't think so.
Okay, you were in the 2 episodes called Vengeance and Killer Date. That's what you were in. I was in 2 episodes. You might have seen them or missed them. Caged and Deep Freeze. I was in both of them. On one episode, I played announcer, and the other one, interestingly enough, I got, I guess, upgraded or more descriptive, male announcer. I was in the other one.
Okay, there you go.
But I wasn't helping solve crimes at all. What's your best Caruso story? You got a good one for me, David Caruso?
You know, I didn't really work with him on that stuff, so I'm going to fail you on that one, man. I really don't, you know. I can't, you know, on those shows, you're either the guy who's lying or you're the guy who says who is lying. You know what I mean? I can't even remember which one I was on that. You know,
You've moved on. You've moved on. You've turned the page from CSI Miami. I haven't. You know, I haven't.
Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Not at all. I'm real grateful for being on the show, but really do not remember.
What does it mean that I won't ever forget it? What does that mean for me?
It's great, man. It's great. Male announcer. Hey, listen, man.
Yes.
You know what, the thing you got to go for is, for me, it was just always about getting a name on that show.
Sure.
I remember my very first role. I was stage manager on One Life to Live, and I do remember that.
Okay.
And my lines were, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, and I pointed at. They didn't even give me one. I had to point it. And stage manager. But at least I would have appreciated male stage manager at the time. So you do have that, man.
Well, and you could have ad-libbed and gone. You could have said the one, but it was your first gig, and you probably just wanted to stick to the script. I get it.
Don't want to push the envelope.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.